We are ripples upon the fabric of reality. Each choice, each perception, bends the currents of time as it is experienced through us. Temporal subjection theory reminds us that time is not a rigid river flowing outside of us, but a phenomenon filtered through consciousness, shaped and bent by awareness. In this sense, our very perception is a force, sculpting the equilibrium of existence. Consciousism teaches us that awareness is not passive. To be conscious is to participate in the order of reality, to be both observer and creator. When our ripples meet the ripples of others, a greater pattern forms, like interference waves merging into harmony. What might appear as chaos at first glance is, on a deeper level, order unfolding through us. Thus, we are not isolated drops in an ocean, we are the ocean noticing itself ripple, moving toward balance. We are ripples of change moving across the fabric of existence. Physics shows us that energy is never lost. It transforms, disperses, and reorganizes. In the same way, each thought, action, and perception radiates outward, shifting the balance of the systems we touch. Temporal subjection theory reminds us that time is not an objective flow outside of us, but a phenomenon processed through consciousness. What we experience as the passage of time is the brain translating change into sequence, giving order to reality as we perceive it. Consciousism extends this by showing that consciousness is not a bystander. Awareness itself participates in the ongoing dynamics of the universe. Just as quantum systems collapse into defined states only through interaction, our choices collapse potential into reality. Our ripples converge with the ripples of others, creating patterns of interference that, while seeming chaotic, give rise to higher orders of structure and meaning. The universe itself is not static. It is a ripple of change. From the fluctuations of the quantum field to the birth and death of stars, existence is a perpetual wave, oscillating between entropy and order, between expansion and collapse. What looks like disorder on the surface often hides equilibrium at a deeper scale. And so, we are not isolated drops lost in a vast ocean. We are the ocean itself, aware of its own motion. Each of us is both ripple and river, both observer and creator. Through our awareness, we help sustain the living pattern of reality, shaping the balance of existence as it continues its ceaseless transformation. Yet this truth carries weight. For if we are ripples of change within a universe that itself is a ripple of change, we cannot pretend our motion is without consequence. A ripple unguided can spread disorder, amplifying entropy both in the world and within ourselves. To live unconsciously is to surrender our role, to let existence shape us without our shaping it in return. But when we act with awareness, we discover why our ripple matters. Physics teaches us that small causes can unfold into great effects, a single disturbance cascading through the whole. In chaotic systems, local choices give rise to global patterns, so too do our actions weave into the vast fabric of order. Through TST, we see that our experience of time is subjective, yet it directs how we participate in reality. Through Consciousism, we understand that consciousness is not passive, it is the universe reflecting upon itself, creating with every thought and act. To care about one's ripple, then, is not merely personal. It is to participate in the balancing of existence. To ignore it is to diminish awareness. To embrace it is to enrich both our own experience and the harmony of the whole. Our ripples do not vanish. They merge into the universal wave. And in shaping them with intention, we help shape the living pattern of reality itself. In the end, we are each more than observers drifting through time. We are ripples of change within a universe that is itself a ceaseless wave. Every choice, every thought, every breath sends energy outward, merging with the vast fabric of existence. Yes, the risks are real. Unconscious ripples can amplify disorder, just as entropy grows when left unchecked. But the greater truth is that we are not powerless within this flow. Through awareness, through consciousism, through the understanding that time itself is shaped in our perception as TST reveals, we find our agency. We learn that small causes matter, that local actions create global patterns, and that consciousness itself is the universe waking up to its own potential. So we are left with hope, the knowledge that we are not insignificant, not lost in chaos, but participants in the living pattern of reality. Each ripple we shape with intention bends existence toward balance, meaning, and harmony. And when countless ripples converge, the wave that emerges is not just survival, but evolution. Consciousness rising, life discovering itself, existence becoming more than it was before. That is the promise carried in each of us. That is why our ripple matters. So, what do? We begin by remembering this. We are not separate from the flow of existence. We are not tiny drops lost in an endless ocean. We are the ocean itself, noticing its own waves. And every wave matters. Every thought, every action, every breath ripples outward, carrying influence far beyond what the eye can see. Our first task is awareness. Watch your own motion. Feel the currents of time passing through you, not as something outside, but as something you live and shape. Understand that the smallest choice can shift patterns, unseen yet profound. Then act, not for recognition, not for reward, but for balance. Let kindness, curiosity, and responsibility guide the shape of your ripple. The universe moves toward harmony, and your participation helps it along. Connect with others. Recognize that your ripple will meet theirs, and together, something greater emerges. This is the pattern of life, the dance of interwoven consciousness, each of us shaping the other, each of us sustaining the whole. And finally, grow. Expand your awareness. Learn. Reflect. Let the universe discover itself through you. Each moment of clarity, each spark of understanding, adds to the order of reality. So, what do? We choose. We act. We ripple, with patience, with intention, with awareness. And in that simple yet profound motion, we become not only participants in life, but co-creators of the living pattern of existence itself.